Good morning and Happy New Year, everyone. Today is a special day. I am going to take you outside and show you the area I've been turning into my wood processing zone. So everything that I did out there was with materials that I found on site, which is always good. So overall, the real cost is $0. Stuff has just been laying around for a few years now, so at some point somebody paid for it, but over the last 5-10 years it's just been laying around collecting dust. So I figured I wanted to try and get organized for this 2021 and try and sort this wood a little better so we have better chance of it drying. So if you want, come along and we'll see you soon. Okay, here we are. We made it outside and we're heading up the path to the processing area. It's been a little cold up here in New England, so I didn't quite make a video as I was building these, but once I give you a close-up of everything and kind of give you a quick explanation on how it was built, I don't think I really needed to go through a whole video of how I built it. So like I was saying earlier, back when I got here, there was no real organization for the way that firewood was stored or processed. So being a camp, I know we use a lot of firewood, and it makes a little bit of sense to try and have some sort of system in place. So that's what I worked on for a few weeks, and I think it came out pretty good. I'm ready to add some more lumber to the mix here pretty soon, so I can fill these racks up. But so let me get you started here. So the first one I built is this one here. So I found a bunch of these old landscape timbers, and I put those across the bottom, framed out some sides, and then just put together a few across the top. Again, these were all ones that have just been laying around the property, and figured I'd put them to use. It was a little more labor intensive than the next version, so I only did one of these. But basically I just put some metal roofing on the top. I found some old scrap fencing, so put that on the sides for this one, and using this for some split lumber. There's a pallet rack, so this one's good because it's empty. So this is where I'm going to store the logs, the section logs, before I split them so that they can begin to dry. But basically I got 2 pallets on the bottom, a pallet on each side, a pallet across the back, and a pallet on the top. Screwed it all together, put a few little scrap pieces of bracings to hold it, and then again just put a little piece of that metal roofing on top just to help, but it still continues to get some good airflow in there and protects it from most of the elements anyhow. It doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be better than before. So that was the last one I just built. And this whole area here, right all in the view of the camera, was just piles and piles of stumps and logs and scrap that had been sitting around for years upon years. So that took quite a bit to get that cleaned up. And then you can't tell now, of course, because we got a little bit of snow, but then I brought in a couple truckloads of gravel to level this out somewhat. And right in front of this unit I didn't gravel, so that way when I process the wood it's easy enough to rake up. But here's a double version of what I was just showing you. Did the same technique. I put an extra pallet in the middle to separate and give a little more airflow. So again, I put 2 pallets on the bottom just to get it up off the ground a little bit, and then the pallets all around, the pallet on the top. It all worked out pretty good, I think. So I have some room here to add some more lumber. There's a shot of the cross bracing, just scrap whatever I have laying around just to tie things together. That's always good. A shot of the back, see if I can do that without falling. Just a bunch of pallets just sitting around. So the key is always to just try and tie one thing to the next, and that gives you a little bit of stability. So as you can see there, all 3 pallets are together. And they're also individually screwed into the other pallets, but the bracing, the more you can brace each other off, a little more rugged it becomes. So yeah, so I did quite a bit of splitting. I salvaged everything I could. I got rid of all the nasty wood that was just so wet you couldn't even pick it up. And here's one that was built. This one's been around. I built this over 15 years ago, believe it or not. But this was all they had. It works out all right. It's been sitting around. But again, that pretty well limited you to that rack and then the pile that was here. So I think all in all, it came out pretty good. I'll probably get a little more gravel in here in the spring if I want to keep this open in case, we need to get in there. But it's been good. I think these work out all right. If you have any questions, let me know. I figured I'd just get another video up of something productive that I've been doing outside. But again, there's that empty shell. It'll hold a good amount of logs that I can cut up in the winter and just set there until I'm ready to split it. I don't have a whole lot of indoor space around, but the other thing I did this fall was I bought some of those IBC crates, bought 2 of those, and like I said, we're on a camp, so the portability of the firewood is key. So how do you get it from that storage area to a fire pit or a tent site? So I bought a bunch of those IBC crates, took the water toad out and grinded out the opening, and loaded those with firewood, stored them in the garage, and so they're drying but also already ready to go. So I can just tractor them to the site, and that'll take quite a good bit of burning to get rid of that. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you have a great year. I'm thinking positive for everything that's got to come up and happen this year, that we can have a solid year. So take care, and thanks for watching.